it's Erin, aka Star Sketch, and welcome back to a new video, a new Erin Talks podcast episode. Today, we are going to be talking about what it means to have a superpower of softness. Softness is a superpower. This is like a new mindset, I guess. Sorry, my hair is just like bothering me today. This is just a new mindset that I have been putting into my daily practice of my mental health journey, my spirituality journey, just all the above. And I wanted to share it with all of you. So, without further ado, I hope that you like this little setup. I cannot stand the white wall behind me though, but it's only for a little bit more time, I promise. Eventually, when the summer heat goes, my dad and I will be working very hard on this wall. So it's just been hot, okay? And the girl's been busy. But let's get into today's episode. So, just another little personal connection. Just growing up, I always heard that I was like too sensitive growing up. And over time, I basically just kind of made these traits into something that reminded me how resilient, creative, and deeply connected I am with the world, and that it's not a weakness, and in fact, it's a superpower, hence the title of this podcast. And I wanted to share with all of you how I basically embody this mindset and how I use it in my everyday life. I also will be sharing some songs I have on my music playlist that I will link in the description box down below. I love making music playlists. Music is like so therapeutic to me now. It always has been ever since I was growing up, but it wasn't until like recently that I've really like dived deep into the love of music and how much it means to me. So let's get started. So what does softness really mean? If you see me looking down, I like wrote notes for myself, so don't mind that. So softness is more than just being gentle. It's empathy, vulnerability, authenticity, and emotional openness. It's kind of allowing ourselves to be completely open to who we are authentically and just to let all emotions out. Like, it's okay to have XYZ feelings on a regular basis because we all feel feelings, okay? I probably experience about 50 different feelings a day, which is insane, but I feel like a lot more people definitely feel that way, especially nowadays. Just like, one minute we're laughing, one minute we're crying, one minute we're shouting, one minute we're, it just changes rapidly so much that you need to kind of embrace the fact that we're humans and we feel those emotions. And how our society mislabels softness as weakness. And I hate that society does this to us because softness is actually insensitive to feelings, to environments, to everything. It's actually a big superpower for a lot of us, especially if you're also diagnosed with something that makes you feel less than. Use that as your superpower. This whole thing, this whole talk, is really just me saying being you is a superpower. Like, we're all heroes in our own way. I've been seeing so many like hero movies come out too, so I'm like, this is definitely super relevant. So I remember once being told that my art was too much. And at first, it really hurt me. To be honest, it was literally just this guy that came up to my table when I was at a craft fair. Though this is just an example of how, it all kind of started for me, especially in the art world, like with Star Sketch and everything. I just remember this like older man coming up to my table. I was kind of at the end of the line. Like, I never go to this place again just because, one, they don't advertise enough, and two, it just wasn't the place for my artwork. But lessons learned. Obviously, you try different places to find where you can sell your art. But anywho, at this particular one, this older man comes up to my table and literally says that my art is too much and just like not worth the money that I was selling it for. And I'm like imagine going up to somebody in like a stranger. I don't know this man and just saying all of that. Now, power to him for having that strong of an opinion, but Jesus Christ, man, keep it to your damn self. I am in just a. This was at the way beginning of my art journey, too. This was like a few years ago. So it's like. You don't know how much I've grown now, man, okay? Softness is my superpower, and my trippiness is my superpower. Everything about me is my superpower. But excuse me. But what I learned from this experience is obviously everyone's gonna have their own freaking opinion about, you know, my artwork and how I do things and how I price things. I still get complaints to this day sometimes when people come up to my table for when I'm vendoring saying that my prices are too low. I'd rather my prices be too low than too high, okay? Like, I've been seeing so many vendors and crafters. Like, I know we kind of segued this from mental health to more like art related, but it all relates. Like, I've been seeing everywhere like people charging like a little 8x10 painting for like $50. Now, I feel like that I should market my stuff like that because of the work and value that I put into that piece. However, looking at society right now and how not many people have a whole lot of money right now, I try to keep that into consideration and balance it with, you know, cheaper prices. Like, everything at my table is less than 20 bucks. I know that's or less than 30, I should say. I have sold something for a little bit over 30 just because it was a huge painting. But like, if it's a huge painting, I'm definitely going to market like $30 to $40, okay? But for like a regular 8x10, that's like $12. Like, I just try to keep it, you know, so that people can afford it, you know? And, you know, society is just, the world nowadays is just so expensive. And so, yeah. I just wanted to share that little story that, you know, I still get hate to this day. Like, I remember when I was on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok anymore just because I don't really agree with TikTok. I didn't really get bullied on there or anything this time. It was just more of like a realization, like, I don't really like being on this platform. But I remember getting super bullied on there. I still get bullied to this day for sometimes using AI in my thumbnails and such. Bitch, I sometimes don't have time to sit there and design a thumbnail. I'm a one-person business, okay? I have to create the listings, set up for a vendor event, create workbooks, and I have like, you don't even know how many different roles I do for Star Sketch that sometimes it's okay to use AI as a little assistant. I know AI is really bad. I know that AI is like super, you know, all of that, but it's actually been really helpful to me, especially with coming up with ideas and for, you know, just expanding myself in general. It also helps me with like my witchy rituals, like finding, you know, rituals and spells that don't use candles because I don't really use candles, to be honest. So yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick that, you know, I still get hate to this day for my everything, but I just embrace it because I'm like, this is me, bitch. Like, I've been trying to embrace that like Kesha mentality of like, you know, like kind of feeling that freedom a bit of having this opportunity to own a small business like I do. At the same time, I am not a fucking celebrity in the art world at all. Like, I am very much on the low end of everything. But the fact that I have significantly impacted just even like a group of people here on YouTube, here on Etsy, on my Discord server, people are sharing their stories of how my tarot readings and artwork have significantly changed their lives. And that makes me feel whole. The numbers don't matter to me, okay? I would love to increase my followers and my, you know, revenue, and I eventually want to make Star Sketch my full-time job because finding a job right now really sucks. But baby steps, baby steps. And that's why my softness is definitely my superpower, because I really just kind of take that into consideration. Now, why softness is revolutionary for your mind, your well being, etc. It contrasts the hustle culture. I feel like I hate the word like grinding. I've been hearing that all over social media and in my inner circles of just like, I gotta grind to work hard. Okay, but when you grind, like, I think of like, this is disgusting, but I think of like, when I think of grinding, I think of like when you're in a club and you're dancing with some random ass stranger or your significant other or whatever it is, and you're grinding with them. It's so like awkward and just like you have to do it. I don't know. You don't have to do it. Obviously, there's consent and all that, but I just feel like it's just an awkward thing and you're not taking in consideration like, oh, maybe I need some water right now. Speaking of, I definitely need to drink some water. Sippy sippies, everybody. Remember Graveyard Girl? She's still around. I just love that reference of sippy sippy. Basically, softness contrasts, not contracts, contrasts today's productivity, like driven, burnout inducing culture. Like, I am not a fan of that. I have definitely experienced burnout. I've definitely experienced just go, go, go energy, especially recently. And I'm trying to do my best to balance in the softness, because I feel like hustle culture is just so draining. Like, I get it. You want to be that girl, that guy that makes the money and is working hard, but where's your mental health state at? Where's your wellness at? Like, what are you doing to take care of yourself every day? Is it literally just work and sleep and then maybe the occasional like me time? I'd rather have a balanced schedule, and that's just how I work. So that's my softness, but your softness might be a little bit different. So some benefits of softness in terms of mental health is you can explore how basically how your softness contributes to your emotional resilience and how it reduces your anxiety and stress, like especially with this whole idea of balance. Balance has been like my key word to try to embody lately, and I feel like I've definitely been trying to achieve that as of late, which is amazing. And maybe I could do a whole Erin talks of how I'm balancing my life out in terms of like social media, friendships, communication, relationships in general, with friendships, romance, family, whatever. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. And prioritizing softness can improve your personal mental health journey. I feel like I've already kind of said this already, but I made sure to put this in this section because it needs to be ingrained in your head. Softness and being soft with yourself is definitely going to help with your mental health journey in the end, or spiritual journey even. So I'm going to give you a little actionable item for this section. So a little question to ask yourself. So next time you feel pressured to hustle, or feel like you need to go on that grind, take a pause and ask yourself, what would softness do here? And would it rest, create, or simply breathe? Like, what do you need in that moment before you dive deep into work? Because obviously work is important. I'm not saying for you guys to not go to work or not do the things that you're passionate about. However, you need to think about that softness side of you. You know, like, do you need to grind right now? Or can you take like an hour to go rest? Can you take an hour to go create something rather than consume and grind? Do you need a second, like a 5-minute meditation to do even? Like, depending on the timing. just kind of ask yourself that. That's been my kind of practice lately, is after I've done a bunch of stuff and I'm like, oh, I still have so much to do for Star Sketch. I pause and ask myself, like, can I actually go smoke? Can I go color? Can I go meditate on my altar for a few minutes? Do I need any of that? Do I need to go replenish my water? What does my body need? And that's like a big question to ask yourself every time. So, speaking of that, how can you integrate softness into your daily life? So these are just some things that you can do to integrate, and I am going to go into relationships and boundaries as well. But first, these are just more for like your daily habits. So, first one is gentle self-talk, affirmations, and just basically just talking to yourself positively. As you guys know, over on my Instagram, I've been really trying to dive deep into that with my groovy mirror prompt challenge. If you haven't checked that out yet, you can check it out in the description down below. The Linktree link has all of my socials on it. But essentially, I have been sharing an affirmation every single day and posting about it. And it's just a little 30-day challenge. So it's not going to be like every single day. After the 30 days, I think I'm going to take a break and do my own spiritual practice with affirmations, but I definitely feel like it's been a catalyst. I've been really trying to incorporate affirmation work into my daily routine, and I thought to myself, why don't I just make a challenge for myself and share it online so then other people can benefit from it, but it's mostly for me. It's to be honest, like I mostly did it for myself to try to incorporate this affirmation practice, but I was like, why not share it? Why not, tell people about what I'm doing to help myself? So, so affirmations have definitely been a powerful thing to really reset my mind to a more positive and soft one. Definitely creating nurturing spaces. So I have definitely made some upgrades to my altar, my gaming room, my bedroom even, and just making it, a bit more cozy. So for example, I added some lighting things in my room. Now there's the only light that I could use is for my vanity, which is fine because sometimes I do use that at nighttime when I need to journal or whatever. But most of the time, I just turn on my lamps, which both have black light bulbs, and it gives my room such a vibe. And then I turn on the TV, I put on something like either calming music. So I most of the time it's this Pusheen calming music that's like 12 hours long. I usually put that on while I'm chilling in bed while I'm journaling. I've started reading again, which, who am I? I never, read a full book in a long time, but I finally gone back into reading. I, set it on my bed. I've been reading a nonfiction and a fiction. So the fiction I'm reading right now is Kingdom Keepers. My friend at my local autism resource center gave me a series of it. And it's just been kind of sitting on a shelf, and now I'm like, I need to start reading again, and I want to read this series. I just haven't given myself the time to do it, and I'm like, duh, before bed, because I'm in that dreamy mode anyways. So yeah, I've been reading like a couple chapters of that at night, and then I also have been annotating in this poetry book that I have by Kayla Nicholson. She's a YouTuber here on YouTube. And I've just been loving it, and I love reading poetry. I'm really diving deep into what it means and how it can relate to my life, and writing little notes in the book. I know not everybody is keen on writing in books, but I bought this book. It's not like I have to return it or anything, so why not make it mine? So yeah, so that's been like a nice little thing. And speaking of that, simple, soft rituals to include into your routine for me has been reading and journaling to end off my day. Another one could be morning pages. I've been seeing my sister over on Instagram, Delaney, if you guys haven't seen, we've done like an interview in the past on my Instagram. And she has been doing morning pages, which I used to do. I don't do anymore just because when I wake up, I just immediately have to take care of my dog, immediately take care of myself. And I could do a morning pages thing again. Certainly could. But I do all my journaling at nighttime anyways, so I don't want to like overbook myself with journaling. But she's been doing that, and that's been really nice for her. So if you want to try that, you basically just take 3 pages of your journal and you write a full thing, whatever comes to mind, just like brain dumping onto the page. And also some soft stretching and making sure that I am moving my body throughout the day. So that has been really nice to incorporate as well. And getting time for personal reflection is also really important. So, for example, every morning I kind of just take 5 minutes to kind of just think of some things to be grateful for. While I'm laying in bed with my dog Ted, I usually think of these things in my head, but usually it's like, oh, I get to wake up to Teddy every morning and it's sunny out and I get to wake up to some morning coffee soon, little things like that. Just even the little things count. And I feel like just having that is really beneficial for my mental health. Now we're going to get into softness in your relationships and boundaries. So when it comes to your relationships, it definitely can deepen some emotional intimacy and genuine connections, especially with your romantic relationships and your friendships. And I feel like my relationships have definitely improved since I've led my life with softness. I've let go of some people that I just, internet people that I just will probably never meet in real life, that I'm just like, why am I even whatever. But I still am connected with people that have been following me on Starsketch for a long time. I love talking to them because even though I may not ever meet them in person, it's good to hear from them on how they're doing and everything and having that friendship. And also, like, I try not to overwhelm my friends with so many messages. I used to be like a texter. Like, I would like text my friends every day, hey, how you doing? What you doing today? And I feel like that was a part of my life that I was definitely highlighting more of other people rather than myself, and that really backfired into my mental health journey. So I'm not trying to be selfish, but I just try to make sure that I at least check in with my friends once a week. Sometimes it's a couple times a week, I will admit, just because I get bored or I'm getting high and I'm just like, oh, I want to talk to my friends. It's just more organic that way. It doesn't feel like I have to hit them up every day. I also do Snapchat streaks with some of my friends. So, like, I'll start off the day, like, sending them a picture of my dog Teddy laying on me or whatever. And it just starts off our days with sharing some dog pictures. I get dog pictures from all my friends, to be honest, or work selfies or whatever. And it just kind of gives that kind of, like, oh, we're starting our day. Like, let's get the day started. Like, I don't know. I've always liked Snapchat streaks, so I still do that to this day. So that's my way of like a little mini check-in with my friends every day, but I don't do an actual like, let's chat about what we're up to. I only do that like once to like a couple times a week. Balancing boundaries. So softness doesn't mean sacrificing your boundaries per se. It's actually quite the opposite. So just reminding yourself that you can say no in a kind manner to things. Like, I've definitely been learning that recently in knowing my priorities, knowing what fits for me, what doesn't fit for me. And softness allows you to honor your needs while respecting others. And I feel like that's something I've been trying to emulate in my life for a long time, and I've finally been able to do that. So yeah, so that's basically relationships and boundaries. And now we're going to get into creativity. So my secret weapon is what I like to call it. So I use softness as a creative fuel. um, to enhance it. So basically, it allows that vulnerability, that authenticity, and depth into my artistic expression. And whenever I make my artwork now, I try to make sure it's relevant to something that I'm personally working on. So, like recently, I put out those prints that I put out, those self love prints. I've been working on loving myself more, all of that. So, I try to make it more authentic to me, but I know that other people could benefit from. And for example, some projects that emerged from my softness was definitely this chill stoner fairy coloring book. I've always wanted to make a fairy coloring book, and I thought to myself, well, I'm trying to emulate this fairy core stoner vibe, so why not put it into a coloring book? And people love it. Like at my vendor events and stuff, especially at the dispo that I go to, that I vendor at, people love it. So yeah. And then another one is definitely just overall all my trippy coloring pages, my Ground Yourself workbook as well. All the workbooks really, and you can find those all on my Etsy shop. Um, just and some of my paintings too, like for example, this one will never be for sale. But I keep it in my office here because it is a deep reflection of a basically a vision I saw during EMDR. And essentially there's like drips of blood over here. You can't really see it on camera. You can kind of see it, but you definitely see it more in real life with the smoke being blown into it, and then it's like a sunny with the rain, the mushrooms and the flowers and everything. And yeah, it's just a big representation of where I'm at in my life currently. So yeah, and I definitely encourage playful creativity as well. Definitely explore your artwork or whatever you do artistically. It could be singing, playing guitar, like my boyfriend's been getting into that. Or it could be writing and journaling, or it could be coloring and doodling, or whatever it is. Just explore it without judgment and guided by gentle curiosity. So, something to keep in mind, a little journal prompt here, or something to think about that I wrote down here was, what art would you create if you weren't afraid of judgment or perfection? And let softness guide your pen, paintbrush, or imagination. So, whatever it is that you do for your creative expression. So, now I'm going to share a little bit about my music playlist that I created recently and kind of give you some song ideas. But again, if you want to have the full playlist, it's going to be listed in the description. But let's see. Soft is a superpower. So some highlights in this one definitely is, let me see, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. I love Fleetwood Mac music, and that one, every time I listen to it, I'm just like, oh my god, yeah, we all go through shit. Flowers by Miley Cyrus. This one's well, now I feel like it's kind of a classic, but it's also like a really good song just for self-love and being your own best friend for sure. Another one is People You Know by Selena Gomez. That one's a great one. I don't know if any of you have heard it before, but essentially it's just a reminder that sometimes you need to let go of people. Sometimes people you know are now people that you don't really know anymore, and that is okay. Sometimes relationships get, like kind of not thrown to the wind, but like they just get let go of or don't last as long, and that's okay. Just people will stay if they want to stay. Cathedral by Kesha. Oh my god, I love this song so much. It's literally just her realizing that, she can go to herself for self-forgiveness, for forgiveness of others, and her own self is a safe space in a sense. Happy by Kesha, one of my favorite songs by Kesha. just overall her realizing that her overall goal in life is to be happy. And I just love that so much. Um, I just also have some like very soft songs in here, like What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish, These Days by Jess Glynn, Macklemore, Dan Kaplan, and Rudimental. I also have East Side by Benny Blanco, Halsey, and Khalid. Silence by Marshmello is on here. And We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love. I love that song by Ariana Grande. And End of the World by Miley Cyrus. I have a lot of similar artists on here, but yeah, so I highly recommend Softness. Soft is a superpower. I should change that to Softness is a superpower. I'm gonna do that right now because I feel like that rolls off the tongue better. Softness is a superpower. Perfect. So yeah, go check out that music playlist if you'd like to start to listen to as like your ritual to kind of like get into that better headspace. So as a reminder, just a little recap to end off this video. Softness is a strong, revolutionary, healing, and creatively inspiring and relationally transformative. And I'm going to close this off with a soothing affirmation for you all to carry along with you. I choose softness today. My softness is sacred. My heart is powerful. My sensitivity is my superpower. So yeah, I wanted to thank you all for listening to this episode, and I hope that you can take something away from it, even if it's just going to listen to that playlist. Like, no matter what it is, I hope that you gain something from this, and I hope that it helps you along your journey of life, of mental health, of your spirituality, whatever it is for you. Remember to drink your water today. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember that rest is important and productive. And I feel like I'm gonna burp. That was something. I don't know what that was. I'm embracing it though. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. Be sure to follow me. Well, I remembered to put this in here. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram, Pinterest, Discord, and Buy Me a Coffees for some more soft, inspiring content. All of that will be listed in the description box in the Linktree link. So if you hit that Linktree link, you'll see all of my social medias there, including my Etsy shop. So, and if you want to check out that music playlist, again, it'll be the top link in the description box below. And thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video on Monday. And I hope you have a great weekend if you're watching this when it comes out, or on a Friday or whatever. But regardless, I hope you have a great day in general, and I will see you all in the next video.